LA Noire, the VR case files. So this one is this has got a lot of good stuff in it and a lot of head scratching stuff in it, especially for a Rockstar game, which they've been around the block. They've seen this, and also this is a VR version of an older flat game. Uh, so I don't know. It's kind of hard. I'll go over some of the stuff here, but so first of all, great option because they kind of have different setups depending on whatever your setup is like. I'm using a Rift S. I haven't really noticed too much of a difference with these, but obviously the more tracking or more area you have to use, the better. For this, though, I have been anchored just because I don't have a huge space to walk in. It's decent size, but I just also don't would prefer to stand still mostly, if possible. So you go through the setup every time. Also, in regards to setup, the very first time you go to play this, don't even bother with your headset because you do have to have a Rockstar account and you have to log in using that Rockstar account or the game will not load. So just kind of keep that in mind. Load times, not the greatest. I noticed that they were really bad when I had the graphics on high. They seemed a little bit faster and not really much of a difference in the quality detail when I put it back down to medium. So your mileage may vary based on your setup and stuff. But if you do find yourself waiting around a lot and you're okay with the graphics, I suggest bumping it down to medium. So here's our title screen, very LA Noire. As I mentioned, this is a VR version of a flat game. If you've played that flat game before, this is pretty much just that in VR. If you haven't, I'll kind of go over the stuff that I really like about this game in general, and then also the VR version, and then some of the stuff that I don't like so much. So we'll go ahead and press A to begin. Kind of a cool setup here. So you got, you're a cop, eventually a detective in the 1940s, the old-timey Dick, if you will. So this is kind of a cool interactive little menu. There's your social club stuff. So like I said, you have to have a Rockstar account, and that's where you do all that. If you notice up here, there is something up there, which you might think it's like a vignette, something or another for VR comfort, but actually, I don't think I can do it here. It's your hat, because you're wearing an old-timey hat. I'm going to start from the beginning and do a tutorial. One, because the tutorial covers a lot of the stuff that I think anyone who might want to purchase or play this should know. Also, this is a game based on solving mysteries and clues and stuff like that, so I don't want to give away a whole lot as far as story goes. So this is actually the part I was going to look for. So they're really good at giving you tutorials on how to actually play the game. Yep. Oh. There we go. Yep, so this is just that recentering thing again. They go through how to pick things up, pick up stuff on your desk, jab yourself in the eye, take a drink. Everything just kind of resets though. Yeah. Oh, pick up the revolver is what they want us to do. You can, wait, how do you, yeah, there you go. You flip that back, so that's kind of a cool little touch. Let go. Oh yeah, so here's a hat I mentioned. Like I said, the graphics are really well done, I think. I'm using a Rift S with a 2070. I don't really notice much of a difference on high settings, but it still plays really well, looks great. Maybe if you get to higher settings or a higher resolution headset, that makes a difference. But so, all right. So here's what they're talking about. Select a case from here, which is kind of confusing because there's just that. It's just start. So let me see if maybe I can. There we go. Yeah. So we'll go over some of the options here real quick. There's a reason. I know it's not normally that exciting to go through here. Display. Nothing too crazy there. I would, again, whatever you like to do here for some of the stuff. Controls, though, here's the big one. So it's Rockstar made a lot of good decisions in regards to tutorial and teaching you how to play and teaching you different VR things, but then they also made some really bad choices as far as options, especially for moving around, interacting with things. I will say that you definitely want to change the height if you can. The handedness, I'm going to keep it as right for now. There may be times where you want to switch to left. But just know that the controls are clunky no matter what you choose. And it seems like that there's pluses and minuses to each of them, and there's no real good one, at least as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to VR moving around. So anyway, we'll go back. We'll go back again. And we'll go ahead and start. So you're just going to pick this up with your grip, and you're going to tap, 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 tap. There we go. The tutorial's kind of slow, but it's because they kind of do baby steps with how to actually play the game, which is what you want.
Well, it's a shame you don't like to talk about it, Cole.
Ralph, friends who want to stay friends don't discuss religion or politics. In my case, you can add the war to that.
Yeah, so actually here, I'm going to go back into that menu real quick because I do not like this black and white. Again, it's kind of off is what I meant to have before. Did not do a good job of that. But again, it's kind of an old-timey feel to it, I guess, so if that's your cup of tea. So they're just telling you here, you can look around. And this is kind of one of the weird things that... Oh, there you go.
I know that bum. Wendell Bowers. I put him away before he jumped parole. Get after him, Phelps!
Okay, so here's the movement tutorial. So first one is you left and right turn, like I'm doing now, with the left stick. Normally that's reserved for your right, and then your left is moving. They did it completely opposite. This is why I mentioned you might want to switch your left and right hand. However, later you're going to be writing with a pen or a pencil, so of course that's going to be reversed. So if you're normally right-handed and you want the controls to match, you want it to be left-handed, but then your writing is going to be left-handed and vice versa. So like I said, it's kind of a weird thing. Now the good news is there's other ways to move around. The way that I found to be least annoying is I think what they're going to have us do here first. I'm going to take my hat off too if I can. You have to let me? No? Okay. Yeah, so it's basically comfort control. So you can use your stick to move around, as I said, your right stick, but you press and hold a button to just do a smooth movement. Kind of dumb. Another way is they have you look at something and then double press the button, which is what I'm doing now, which it works, but you don't generally, unless you're really new to VR, you don't want to move around like that. So here again, you're looking at the fence in this case, and that's how it's lit up. And then you double tap your A button, and you just kind of watch the guy run to it. So then here is the walking controls. Now you don't just press forward with your stick like you would expect. You actually have to press and hold the A button to walk forward, and then you either use your hand to choose your direction. Again, I'm holding down the A button with my thumb. You can also set it to move wherever your head moves, but this is just weird because then you still have your right stick to strafe, your left stick to go back and forth, or to do a quick 180 is down. So I don't know why they just didn't do a left stick right stick thing. But yeah, so for the sake of getting...
Don't make me chase you!
So you can also kind of do this, where if you're chasing somebody, you just keep hitting the button. Just keep tapping. So I guess it's maybe easy mode. I don't know, I just feel like...
Give it up, Bowers! There's nowhere left to go!
Making this game in VR, maybe you should just give me VR controls. Like good ones that other games have been making for years.
Looks like we've got the place to ourselves.
Yeah, this is fun. So we're going to go fisticuffs with this guy. So basically they're going to tell you make a fist with your controllers, makes sense, and you slap the guy. This isn't difficult at all, but I do like that you have the option to either punch them or you can literally slap them. Just the idea of just slapping somebody until they're unconscious is kind of fun. So we'll fight this guy. So this is your defend. You can just basically just keep punching until they do that. Then do something else until he stops. Doesn't seem to matter where you hit him, how hard, as long as you just keep hitting him. Eventually, see, I'm just slapping him.
Boyfriend's not around to help you out now. Are you fighting or flirting?
Slapped him to unconscious.
How you doing, Wendell? Your parole officer's feeling lonely. He's got a hole in his life for an asshole like you.
Oh,
You can make it up to him in 10 years' time. Watch your head. This hump will be back in the Iron Hotel by tomorrow night. Nice work, Cole. You run track in high school?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's got that flair. If you haven't played the original game, it's big time on the aesthetics, the language, the terms, all that good stuff for the 40s in America. I think there's probably one more normal or training mission.
All units to 211 in progress and shots fired at Westlake Savings and Loan, 1415 West 3rd Street. Unit to handle identifying code 3.
I'm gonna take the hat off just so there's more screen to see.
We'll take that. It's only a couple blocks from here.
So driving is really cool. It's, again, the walking they did terrible. First of all, anytime you go to drive, they give you the option to sit so you can get comfortable, all that good stuff. So there's a lot going on with the driving. You actually have to, there's an emergency brake you have to release, there's the siren you have to do, you got to start the car, all that good stuff. So they're going to just kind of go through all this stuff here. Continue. You can, well, normally that would beep the horn when we're not in. So you got your emergency brake here, you got to release that. There's your horn. Dispatch.
14 to Adam, calling KGPL. We'll handle the 211.
You have it. Somehow they got a 1940s GPS over there, which that's fine.
Roger, KGPL.
You got to reach down here, start the engine. Oh. There we go. We got our siren right here. Woo-woo! Then just hit the trigger to go. Your right trigger is forward, your left trigger is backward, the mirrors work. You can kind of go crazy here. I've ridden all over town like a madman and never really hit a fail state. You can run over people, it doesn't really hurt anything. You can run over stuff. Your partner here will kind of yell stuff at you if you get too crazy.
Take the next right.
You kind of do stuff like that. Oh yeah, see, there's that guy. But here's the deal. Even though it's not that hard to do and you can kind of have some fun with it, it's actually probably the most fun I've had with the game so far. You can, let me go ahead and turn this off. Wait, nope. There we go. Here's the deal with your little map. If you just pull this little thing right here, you'll instantly warp to where you go. So, even though the driving's fun, it's not real practical.
Quick, you guys, the cops are here. We gotta move it.
Not sure what's up with that siren. Okay. Then again, we're just going to go ahead and move. There you go.
Reinforcements are on the way. Cease and desist.
Just going to keep getting closer.
Stay down. Weapons on the ground, now!
It's gonna slowly but surely creep up to the
head down. Use the cover, Phelps.
language, sir.
LAPD! Stay in cover.
I don't know why they want me to drop the shotgun. Sure, yeah, I think we can go right there.
Put your weapons down and your hands in the air.
It'd be really nice. That got out of my way. Here, what do you want? Sidearm. I guess we're going to this. I don't know why you wouldn't just keep the shotgun, but alright.
Your move, mister. Get me.
Come on.
We got them all?
I think we got him, Cole. Should be all clear. Lieutenant Hopkins says anytime you reach for the shotguns, you're either going to end up dead or wearing a citation. So I guess
It's okay, Ralph.
Did it.
You did well
No?
in there.
Nothing? Alright.
Glad you had my back. Man couldn't ask for a better partner.
Sadly, you don't do a lot of that gunfighting. So if gunfighting's your deal, then I would say probably give this one a pass. You do some, just not a ton. And I think there's one more step of the tutorial we can go through here without giving too much away.
KGBL calling caller 14 Adam. 14 Adam, come in.
Go ahead, KGPL.
14 Adam, see the detective and ambulance shooting at 6th and Industrial Street. Unit 16 William requests uniform assistance for an evidence search. 14 Adam, code 2.
Roger. 14 Adam en route.
I always get in on the driver's side. I've had a couple times where I tried to get in on the passenger side and you end up sitting on your partner's lap. Just mildly awkward. Again, I'm just going to do that. Get us right to where we're going.
Floyd Rose, homicide. You might back up?
Yes, sir. Phelps and Dunn, Wilshire Division.
We had a shooting took place down this alleyway. We have the Vic, Scooter Payton, a Negro male bagged up and on his way to Central Morgue. Witness says a tall white guy, our shooter, put two in the Vic's head and then threw his piece. I need you guys to try and recover the gat.
You want us to look anywhere in particular?
Give it your best shot, guys. The dead guy's a lowlife. I'm not expecting any miracles here.
And if we recover the weapon?
Bag it and return it to technical services.
You hurry it up, Floyd. We
I'm
got
outta
places
here.
to be.
Happy hunting.
Alright. So this is another cool thing I liked. So they have torches or flashlights here, so you can kind of carry it around or just wear it on your chest.
We've got to be thorough, Cole.
Yeah.
Check into every corner.
So
This is a fist hump. Just going through the motions.
You're probably right. Let's just get it over and done.
All right, have it your way. We'll search right up to the back wall. If you still don't come up with anything, come find me and we'll talk it out. Two heads are always better than one.
So in addition to holding down the A button to move forward, in addition to the double tap, you can just single tap A, and it should, well, it used to.
Look at this junk.
There we go. Give you a little cursor or reticle. Then you can tap it again to go where that is.
It's not my job to pick through other people's trash.
Yeah. So you go through here, you look for stuff. A lot of cool stuff in the environment to mess with, like
What have
the
you got,
bottles
Phelps?
and
Anything?
screwdrivers, but they don't really do much. For the sake of going faster, I'm just going to go right to where they want us to go.
I
But this
tell
is-
you, I'm jinxed. I always get landed with this
It's
crap.
part of the job too, or part of the game too, is looking for clues, looking for stuff that
Jesus.
might mean something.
Cole, come take a look at this.
Yeah.
Shooter put him up against the wall and blew his brains out.
Hell of a way to go.
Doesn't really matter how you go once you're gone.
Don't get all deep on me, Phelps.
Okay. So, a little spoiler here, just because this took me some time and wasn't totally obvious to me. Is you want to come around here, you want to climb up that spouting,
Never gonna find it. It's a waste of time.
and over here's your gun. Whoop! Dropped it.
Smith & Wesson, serial S71893.
Alright. I think so. Here. Yeah. Good detail. All that good stuff. They want you to recognize
2 rounds fired. And instead of dropping it down a drain, our shooter hoists it up here. Interesting guy.
We should follow up on this now, before the perp tries to leave town.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So they want you to grab your notebook. Or try to. Yeah, again, this is kind of one of those deals where they didn't make the best decisions. There we go. So this is your pen, your notebook. Actually kind of works a little bit. Clues. Go back. There we go. And then we should be able to get back down off of here.
We have the gun, Cole. Let's take it back to Central. We could get a commendation.
Could show some initiative, Ralph, and see if we can come up with an owner.
That's a long shot, Cole.
It's a pretty fancy gun. You know a local gun store?
Sure. There's a place a couple of blocks from here.
And that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna sit down. Gonna just fast travel. This next part here. Oh yeah. So this again. So you can't just drive to the place. You have to get in your notebook. You have to say where you're wanting to go to the gunsmith. Set as destination. It's on your thing. Then do that. If you have trouble reading in VR, like I generally do, just know that there's quite a bit of reading, handwritten text at least, in this. So if you have a headset that's not as easy to read on, or maybe you just have poor eyesight like I do, just be aware that there's quite a bit of it. Or at least there can be, depending on which case you're going. Alright, come on. I tried to push it open. There.
Officers Phelps and Dunn. Can you tell us anything about this gun?
Smith & Wesson, Model 27, registered
Dirty
Magnum.
hands.
Chambered for .357, nickel-plated with pearl grips. Same gun used by General Patton.
You're not suggesting he's the owner.
No, I'm not.
You seem to know a lot about the weapon.
I ought to. I sold it. You know, this piece will stop a rhino.
I doubt that.
These babies are only available special order. Here's my Smith & Wesson order book.
Mind if I
Handy.
take a look?
Be my guest. This is about something bad, right?
Usually is. All right, so here's the deal. You want to go through, in this case, here's all
Model
the guns.
27 with pearl grips, Cole. You see it on there?
So you match it, and you can match by the model. If you ever, what you probably need to do also, not necessarily for this one, but maybe other ones, you can go back in, and the serial number is in here too. So it ends in 1893. So again, you're a detective. You have to figure all this stuff out, right? So we're going to go through here. You can look for the thing that matches. If you look for, what was easier for me is to find the one that ends in 1893, which is probably in a totally different spot now. It's probably real easy for you to see, but again, there we go. But again, VR reading is not always the easiest.
We're in luck. Errol Schroeder, 203 South Glass Street. Ordered the gun in February 46. Thanks, you've been a big help.
Anytime. Always happy to help out the LAPD.
Mm-hmm. So now we got a lead. We're going to follow up on that lead, and then we can wrap this up. Only because the very next mission is actually a mission from the flat game, and I don't want to...
Let's see if he's at home. Owning the gun
Oh, yeah.
doesn't prove he pulled the trigger.
Okay. In for a penny, in for a pound. Lead the way, Gunga Din.
So we're going to do that again. There's kind of some cool NPC interaction type stuff with this.
Come on, just one
Not
drink.
a chance. We ain't seen each other ever, pal. Buzz off!
This guy is a little...
Bourbon. Tall glass, no ice. Just bring me the bottle?
Yeah, that slapping only works in certain situations. But anyway, we're here for this.
Wake up, Cole.
Is that not the right place? Wake up, cool, he says. Here we go. No. Sorry, again, the controls, there we go. I don't know what's going on here. So we got the mailboxes here.
Schroeder, apartment 2.
There we go. So now we're gonna go up the stairs.
What do you guys want?
I'm Officer Cole Phelps. This is Officer Dunn, Wilshire Division. You're the owner of a Smith & Wesson Model 27, nickel-plated with pearl grips?
I might be. What of it?
Then you'll be surprised to know that Scooter Payton was murdered tonight with your gun.
You're out of your mind. Scooter? He works for me. I have that gun here in my drawer. What the fuck is going on here?
You're under arrest, Schroeder. Cuff him, Ralph.
No way. You're not taking me down for this.
Oh,
That was a very bad move, Schroeder.
we're going back to fisticuffs.
You started. I'll finish it.
Try not to punch your TV or computer.
Ralph, you all right?
I'm fine. I hardly felt it.
Yeah.
Lucky you caught me off guard.
All right, so
Keep an eye on him, Ralph. I'm going to take a look around.
yeah, there's not a lot going on here. I'm just gonna kind of go and find whatever it is we're supposed to. Let's see, what was maybe in here? There's a very specific thing you're looking for. Maybe it wasn't in his dirty kitchen. No, not the door, not that door. Looking for clues, looking for clues. You can They don't always tell you exactly what you're looking for, so you might have to pick up a few things here and there. I thought it was
What are we
something
waiting
here.
for?
Oh yeah, here it is. Come on. Come on. There we go.
List of names and a series of numbers. Floyd Rose's name is in this book.
Phelps, we can come out of this all bright and shiny with a commendation. Or stick our schlongs in a hornet's nest. Call it in, partner. And leave the book where you found it.
Sassy.
Officer Phelps, badge 1247, requesting.
So that's pretty much the end of the tutorial. Like I said, the very next mission is a mission from the main game, from the first game. I won't go through it. Again, it's a game that I think they put a lot of effort into to make it VR, especially with the driving and stuff like that. But then they made some really dumb choices
For
with
every cop,
the movement
there's the case that makes
and some
gives you
interactions.
that leg up, gets you recognized as the shining
Yeah,
new
so
star
this
of the
is
squad.
that main mission here.
The case that you solve,
We'll do this here. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if especially if puzzle solving and that type of thing is your deal. It's kind of one of those deals where it's got some action, it's got some puzzles, it's got some thinking stuff to do, some action stuff to do. So it's got a little bit of something for everybody. You just have to be able to get past the controls in order to really enjoy it, I think. One thing I didn't like about the flat game, and of course this has it too, is you interrogate people by talking to them, and you have normally like a aggressive approach or a soft approach or stuff like that. And then you also have to confront people with clues that you find, but the clues that you have to present to them don't always work out the way that you want them to. So I guess I'll just leave it at that. If you want a guide, like if you're having trouble with the mission, definitely check out a guide on how to do that specific one or something like that. But overall, I like this game. It's just Rockstar made some pretty interesting choices as far as how to implement it. A couple steps forward in some places, a couple steps back in others, but definitely a very high quality game like you would expect from Rockstar. So you'll probably find something in this game that you enjoy.